Hello, this is Mara Elaine on the Buying Space channel. I want to talk about my alma mater, Scott High School. Both my brother and I, and both my parents, all graduated from the same high school, Scott High School in Madison, West Virginia. This jar belongs to my mother, Alice, and she and my father both were in the class in 1959, and they received this jar in 1979, and it had treats in it. I forget what was in it. I was relatively young when Mom got this, and I wasn't, I was just young and not interested, so I don't remember all that came in this jar originally. But my mother did something quite ingenious. She took all of her classmates' cards that she received and Dad received in high school, these little graduation cards, and put them in this jar. And she was here 2 weeks ago, and she took her yearbooks, and I held this back, and I said, Mom, let me keep this for another week. And she said, okay. So she's coming next weekend to pick it up. But before she picks it up, I wanted to go through it. Because my dad is already gone, and my mom is 83. And she's just, she's precious. And I don't know how many of her classmates. There might have been something that was originally that came with it. Let's see what this is. Actually, I don't know what this is. Okay. Parnell Townley was one of Mom's classmates, and he became wealthy early on. I think he was the first person in her class to become a millionaire. He owns a chemical company in Florida. Okay, and this is Scott High, class of 59, in Walk with Kings and Keep the Common Touch. To walk with kings and keep the common touch. I think that there was their class motto. Maybe there was a candy or something in that originally. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the names on these cards. Now, I don't know if there's any of Mom and Dad's classmates that are missing from this, but I wanted to go ahead and read them. I'm sure many of them are gone. And obviously this will be in no particular order. I'm going to put them back in the jar as I go. Lester Lee Kimbler. Opie D. Mitchell. He might be a cousin of my father's. Herman Clinton McClure. Dorothy Lou Marshinsky, my biology teacher when I was in high school. Alberta Bernice Mullins. Carolyn Sue Holstein. Judith Ann Miller, Jewel Justice Elkins, Della Adkins, Sandra Lee Parsley, Devin Danielle McCain. Oh my, Devin Danielle McCain is my first cousin's child and was not in the class of 1959. So my mother, along the way, put additional cards in this jar that are in addition to the class of 1959. Raymond Ray Dolan. Raymond Ray Dolan is definitely a graduate of 1959. Carol Stowers. Miss Sandra Lou Siegler. Patsy Sue Vickers. Renee Carol Ball. Patsy Ellis. Willa Doss. Sue Frances Baldwin. Brenda K. Dolan. Marion Elaine Green. Ellen Faye Pratt. John E. Hoy. Judith May Hopkins. Betty Jo Young. Wayne Price. Kenneth A. Miller. Douglas Harless. Got a funny story about Doug Harless. Wayne Pappy Challenger. Janita Carol Copley. Richard L. Hill. Virgil Claire Miller, my father. Joseph E. Evans. Harold R. Miller. He was a good friend of my father's. Janet Carol Browning. T. R. Barker. T. R. Barker, I know, is still living, and he's a retired dentist. Maynard Ray Green. Loretta Brown. Connie Sue Halstead. She's a cousin of my mother's. Patricia Davis. Peggy Arlene Burley. Joyce Ann Price. Jean Thompson. Richard C. Cooper. A second copy of my father's graduation card. Robert E. Holstein. Charles Gillespie. Frederick L. Ball. Carlisle Bias. Clinton Kyle Spencer. Freddie Ryan Elkins. Ray Journell. Jesse Ray Markham. Irvin Ray Webb. Howard Leon Price. Wilma Louise Polly. Patricia June Harless. Linda Price. Dolores Ann Epling. Frida Hazel Ball. Barbara Williams. Stanley Lee Ellis. Jerry R. Gillenwater. Emery L. Browning. Rosalie Deck. Frank K. Miller. James Franklin Bell. Philip Ray Casto. Brenda Lou Price. Miss Jane Ball. Sylvia Arlene May. Phyllis Jean Sigmund. Lou Emma Shreve. Priscilla Duke Racer. Brenda Lou Parks. Georgina Elaine Myers. Mary Catherine Ellis. Bonnie K. Ellis. Frances Joan White. Verna Elaine Barker. Susie Baldwin. Nancy Lee Ball. Miss Karen Sue Hill. Arthur Lee Bias. Miss Susie May Caldwell. Sylvia Marie Mullins. Phyllis Jean Messer. And these are the cards my mother collected from the class of 1959. There might be some exceptions from the other classes, and the one that was my first cousin's child is an exception. So I'm going to take these out, put the other things back in, and seal this up. And this will go with my mother next weekend so she can look at these and enjoy them all that she wants. And have precious memories. The funny story I have about Doug Harless was when I was 6 years old, or younger maybe, we went fishing. Our family went fishing with the Harless family at a lake. And I was casting my rod back to pull it forward. And when I pulled it forward, I felt resistance, and I heard a scream, a scream like I'd never heard before. And I had caught my rod in the hair of Doug Harless, and he was screaming. And everybody ran forward, and they got the hook out of his hair, and we all had a good laugh about it. And we all had a good laugh about it a year later, and a year later, and a year later, and we're still laughing about it. But the funny thing was, one Sunday, Doug Harless told this story from the pulpit of Bible Baptist Church, where he was I believe, the song leader. He was definitely a deacon. But anyway, he told that story. And what made it even more funny was at the time that he told that story in church, years later, he was bald. So for a while there, I called him Doug Hairless. Because, he had blamed me in jest for his baldness, because I hooked what hair he had at the lake. So anyway, this jar was the gift from Parnell Townley to his classmates, and it had other goodies in it at the time, and I don't know what all the other goodies were. Maybe they were, it was candy, and obviously it's gone. So, but I'm going to try to get this back in here as best I can. It'll just all be taken out again, but I'm going to do my best to get it in there neatly out of respect for the class of 1959 and my mother. And I hope you all have enjoyed this proclamation of the class of 1959. This year, oh dear, math. See, 59 to 2000 would be 41. So 41 plus 24. So that's 65 years this month, or May. I'm not sure if they graduated in May or June. 65 years. Time does fly. You all have a wonderful and blessed day, and my condolences to those who have lost their parents and grandparents that are on these cards, or even great-grandparents by now.